What's up, y'all? We're gonna take a look at the Nike Air More Uptempo. Original release date of 1996 by Wilson Smith. I was able to snag these off of kicksusa.com for a fair price of $160. This is actually the first footwear I've ever purchased from kicksusa.com. It took me about 30 minutes to cart. Once I did cart, I had to re-cart due to the site traffic. Things were getting a little bit glitchy, but I was definitely able to get these in the cart and got a confirmation email 5 to 10 minutes later. 7 days after that, these things showed up at my front door. Taking a look at the sneaker, the upper is primarily nubuck. Nubuck is just like a leather. It's a top grain leather. It's a little bit more durable and costly than like suede. It makes it for the perfect build for a sneaker. The stitching on this shoe is above par. I think the make of this shoe, due to the big air on the side, the stitching has to be there, and it is. There's no loose ends throughout any of both of the sneakers. Just like on the old retros, you have the full length Max Air bubble. The bubble is not as thick and as drastic as the 96 and 05 releases. It's just not needed anymore. Technology has progressed. This doesn't diminish the comfort level in the sneaker whatsoever. The Uptempo is definitely true to size. I'm a size 12. I wouldn't go to 11 and a half. Wouldn't need a 12 and a half. Wouldn't need a 13. Something that's also changed since 96 and 05, if you take a look at the bottom of the shoe, the window in the bottom has been closed. I know in the black pair it was black, and in the red pair it's red. Fun fact, in 96 and 05, this sneaker was actually called the Nike Air More Tempo, and in 2010 and as well as 2015-16, this is actually called the Nike Air More Uptempo. And I'm almost curious if the name change has anything to do with the lack of the see-through air unit on the bottom of the heel. I'm sure by this point the generation has changed. Kids aren't really familiar with Scottie Pippen, but there was a moment in time where people thought this was actually Scottie Pippen's shoe. It is not. Scottie Pippen in 96 rocked this along with a lot of other NBA players like Juwan Howard. The popularity of the sneaker was kind of exposed by the success of the Chicago Bulls. This was kind of masked to Scottie Pippen because he was on that 96 Bull team when they won the 96 championship, as well as the release of the Olympic colorway for that same year in the Olympics. Scottie Pippen was the sole wearer of the Nike Air Uptempo that year. Scottie Pippen actually has his own sneaker. It's the Air Pippen 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I've never personally actually fitted any of those shoes. I wasn't a huge fan. Taking a little bit deeper dive in the shoe itself, it does have the original lace locks. They are plastic. I do believe the durability will be just fine. It does have the original elastic bands as well. Like mentioned earlier, I think the stitching on this is so well that you shouldn't have to worry about these coming loose or snapping. The shoestrings itself, the actual like rope strings that these have, are built really well, stitched in really nice. I don't see any of that coming apart unless you're really rough on your shoes. The only thing that irks me a little bit is the actual paint job of the shoe. There's a couple areas where it looked like it was almost worn, but it's definitely dead stock. But it does look a little worn on some of the edges, as well as some of the paint is kind of creeping onto the air bubble, and the red is kind of rubbing off on some of the white areas. I'm personally not too worried about it. Once I did get these on feet, 3 things definitely did stand out a little bit more. First being that I definitely was taller when I put these on. The other thing was, looking straight down, because of the bulkiness of the shoe, it looked extremely short. The third thing that did stand out was the lightness of the shoe. Looking at it, it just looks heavy in general. It's actually not heavy. It's not light like a Racer or a Free, but in concerns of to like other basketball shoes, it's probably on par as like a LeBron. LeBron's a little bit heavier, a little bit bulkier. I would say the build is a little bit bigger. It may weigh just a little bit more, but looking at the shoe, it looks extremely heavy, but it's not. Just doing a little crease test, you can see that the crease area is right on the outside of the R and the A on both pairs, obviously. I'm a definite fan of these shoes. Big question is, would I hoop in them? I think this is just a little bit too much sneaker for my type of game, but it's definitely a great summer shoe for me, sportswear shoe. Personally, I probably wouldn't wear these with joggers just because they're a little bit too bulky. I'm interested to see if you guys would cop these. These are actually on eBay right now for about $220 to $260. You should let me know in the comments what you think of the gum bottom all white, as well as are you excited for the probable release of the Olympic colorway as well. I personally am going to try and get the Olympic colorway. I'd like to see the gum bottom colorway. I just think not having the air on the side, it's there, but not having it in color, I think kind of takes away from the sneaker itself. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I mentioned in my last unboxing, I'm just trying to bring clean, simple, easy to understand unboxing and reviews. I have another unboxing coming out. It is the Flyknit racers. This is the black, white, and Volt colorway. I'm extremely excited about these. I've had my eye on them for a while and finally was able to pull the trigger. I also have stuff coming out with like Jordan bags and other backpacks as well as clothing too. If you're interested in that, please subscribe. Peace.